morning. My name is Sergeant Justin Graham. I'm with the San Rafael Police Department. I am coordinating the press information officer aspect for the San Rafael Police Department. I'd like to start off by letting you know that we are going to cover what happened this morning. I'd like to start off by introducing Deputy Chief Robert Sinnott with the San Rafael Police Department, who will be starting the briefing. And then I'm also here with Deputy Director of Emergency Management, Quinn Gardner. Chief, go ahead.
Thank you. Just a correction, I'm with the San Rafael Fire Department. Thank you and good morning. So this morning at approximately 5:36 a.m., we received a report of a structure fire at 516 Canal Street, the building directly behind me. Upon arrival of the first units, who were just stationed a few blocks away, this building was well involved in fire. The mission of the first units arriving was saving lives, making sure everybody was out of the building. We have about 19 units here in this three-story building, approximately 50 residents. San Rafael Police Department was instrumental with assisting with evacuation. They were here prior to our arrival and continued to arrive after we arrived as well. Once we confirmed that everybody was out of the building, we then focused on extinguishing this fire and keeping it to the building of origin. That was our priority because at this point now the building was fully involved in fire. We have approximately 8 civilian injuries, 1 immediate, 2 delayed, meaning not serious. The others were minor and not transported. It took approximately 1 hour to control this fire. Crews will be on scene for several hours to ensure complete and total extinguishment. The Marin Fire Investigation Team is on scene to initiate the fire investigation phase. And at this point, I'll turn it over to my colleagues.
Good morning. As crews continue to contain the blaze behind us, my focus and the city's focus shifts to how we're going to support the residents displaced and impacted by this fire. We're asking all the impacted residents to join us at our Borough Community Center at 50 Canal Street, where we'll start assessing individual needs and how we can support those residents. We're asking that anyone interested in donating at this time hold those donations until we have a clear understanding of what our residents need, and we'll be able to offer more information in the coming hours after we've addressed those immediate needs of our displaced residents. Thank you.
And on behalf of the police department, we're very proud of our first responders and partners. This morning we had to call mutual aid both on the fire department's behalf and on the police department's behalf, and we received a resounding amount of support which made for successful evacuations and clearing this active scene. Right now, as Deputy Director Gardner spoke to, we are working on opening up the evacuation center. This is very much still an active scene. We ask that members of the public please support us in our efforts in what we're doing here. Avoid the area. Canal Street in the 500 and 600 block will remain closed, along with the streets that feed into it, which is Medway Road, Oak Street, and Harbor Street. We ask that unless you absolutely have to come down here, that you avoid the area. If you have appointments or anything set up with a local business, please call them and check in. Right now the power is cut off to this block, including several other blocks, affecting some of the businesses. As soon as you see the fire apparatus behind me come down, PG&E will be able to re-energize those lines, but right now our priority is our first responders' safety on the scene. And with that, I'll be happy to take any questions.
Chief,
Yes.
can you talk about the Spanish-speaking firefighters, bilingual firefighters, talking to the residents here, the role they played and how important that was?
Well, we do have bilingual firefighters. However, SRPD as well has bilingual staff. Quinn's team is also bilingual, so it was really a collective effort to successfully communicate with the residents, assemble them, assess what injuries they had, what needs they have, and then coordinate the relocation to our evacuation center. So it was really a collective team effort.
We talk about firefighting, so can you talk about how dynamic a situation like this is with such dense housing and so forth? You've got embers flying, we had people jumping off balconies into the water. Talk about the challenge.
Right. Again, we focus on rescue first. Regardless of the size of the fire, rescue, preserving lives is always the first objective. We focus on that. Yes, that is a very dynamic situation as we're trying to get everybody out of the building and away. Then we focus on firefighting. In a case like this, the building was well involved in fire, so the first objective is keeping the fire contained to the building of origin, not allowing it to spread to adjoining structures. We had one minor fire that occurred at a neighboring building that was quickly extinguished. It was caused by an ember. However, the firefighters were very successful in keeping this fire contained to the building of origin. This was a large fire. This building was well involved. The efforts and the actions that were taken by the firefighters were commendable. I would also like to recognize our utilities. Marin Municipal Water District responded quickly, and what they did was they were able to open up the water system to get more water down to this area, which was of vital importance. PG&E responded immediately and were able to secure the overhead line so that we could use our aerial fire apparatus to help control the fire. So I can't say enough about our local utilities, as well as our emergency management office and our police department.
You got a fireboat that came out. Were they able to rescue anyone that had to jump from the balconies?
Let me defer to Sergeant Graham on that. I think he might have more information.
Upon our officers' arrival, we were getting information that residents were trapped and that they were jumping from the back of the apartment complex into the San Rafael Creek, commonly known as the Canal. Several officers went back there and assisted with those people and getting them to safety. We definitely had some people that, under the circumstances needed to get out, and so we assisted with that. We do know of one person that, as a result of that jump, was part of that serious injury that was immediately transported to the hospital. We don't have a status yet on their condition, but it appears that it's non-life-threatening at this time.
And then, Chief, also in regards to some residents said that they heard popping noises. Do you have any idea what those were? They said it was very loud, like an explosion.
Popping is typical with electrical lines failing, arcing, things like that. So that's a typical sound they might hear.
A fire question for you.
Yes.
You said you were able to contain the building. That was the number one priority, safety and containing the fire. What is the concern now? Any concerns about structural integrity, and what else do you know?
Well, structural integrity is always a concern. Right now, mainly that is a concern as we are focusing on overhaul, complete extinguishment, which requires us to go back into the building, and also investigation, making sure the building is stable enough to initiate and complete a successful investigation.
There are no firefighters in the building at this time.
There could be firefighters in the building, again, involved in overhaul and complete extinguishment. No, not at this time.
Was this an older building? Are there challenges in fighting fires when it's an older building that's involved?
I'm unsure of the building's age, but I don't think its age had anything to do with the challenge in extinguishing the fire.
And then can you recap, sorry, how many people were injured?
I have 8 injuries. One serious, was immediately transported. 2 delayed, meaning not serious. They were transported. And then the rest minor, treated on senior release.
And one of those injuries was from the person jumping into the water.
I believe Sergeant Grant can confirm that. Yes.
That's correct, yes.
Another interesting resource that we had to help fight this fire, besides a county-wide response, mutual aid, which is a seamless response in Marin County. We have immediate convergence, no delays. We can get as many fire apparatus to the scene as needed. And that occurred this morning. There was no delay whatsoever in our response. But another unique resource that we utilized was the San Rafael fireboat, which responded up the canal and actually fought the fire from the water side of the building.
As far as you guys know, everybody's accounted for. Are you still wondering about people?
As far as we know, everybody's accounted for.
Okay, unless there's any other
Thank you
questions,
so much.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.